buttocks, a cushion or a pillow of some kind, something with a little, that's a little stiff, not a feather pillow that's going to squish right down. So while we're waiting, why don't we just close the eyes, sitting up nice and tall with a straight, not necessarily straight spine, but a lengthened spine. Crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling. And try to keep that natural S curve in the spine. Just take some gentle movements, whatever feels good. Maybe roll the head around, get the kinks out from the day. Maybe give yourself a little foot massage, a little self-care before we get started. It always feels better when somebody else rubs your feet, doesn't it? But when that's not available, we can always take care of ourselves. Just let that breeze. So we'll go ahead and get started. What I'd like you to do is get set up so that you've got your 2 blankets and your 2 blocks like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit on the blanket with the hips. And then we're going to gently come down. You can scoot your hips a little forward to get there. Roll down. And you want your head, back of the head on the mat. And then we're going to pick up the feet and we're going to lay the feet on the blocks in Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together. So this is kind of a combination of supported bridge and Baddha Konasana. And I thought we would just start here to open the hips right away. But settling in, maybe rock the shoulders side to side to sort of scooch the shoulders out wide. Your arms can be out wide or closer to your body, whatever feels best for you. Palms facing the ceiling. I always find that more comfortable than palms down, but whatever you feel is going to be most supportive for you. And then start to lengthen and deepen your breath. So this is a perfect pose for really filling the belly with air. Belly, the ribs, and the chest. And then exhaling. Just let gravity and the weight of your body help with the exhale. Just sort of naturally falls. Inhaling and exhaling. And try to let your mind be still as well as your body. Might take some time to transition from the activity of the day to this time of stillness and slowing down. And that's where the breath can really help us. Activating the vagus nerve with our deep inhale and exhale. The vagus nerve responsible for the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and relaxation. opposed to the sympathetic, which is fight or flight. Try to keep the shoulders down on the mat, the jaw relaxed. Full belly breathing. If you need to make any adjustments here, maybe rock the hips side to side a little bit. See if you can settle just a little bit more. We have about another 30 seconds here. Take one more big inhale and exhale. Bring the feet flat onto the blocks. And now we're going to just hug the knees into the chest. So make sure your low back is stable on your blankets here so that you can just sort of let the knees fall to the chest. Should feel really good with the low back supported by the blankets. And now we'll take the legs straight up. And we'll just hold here in an inversion. You can bring the feet together. I find that that helps. They support one another, and it's a little bit easier to keep them elevated. Your hands can rest over your blanket with your wrists supported, fingers dangling down. Or you can turn the palms up and let the fingers fall that way. Which, if you've been on a computer or a keyboard today, that might be a good way to undo all of that typing activity. Palms open, fingers falling toward the mat. And you might take your gaze right between your toes. And just softly focus the eyes. Just gives a resting place. If that's not comfortable, then just close the eyes. Reversing the blood flow, giving the heart a rest. Where you are, I hope you have a window open so you're enjoying this fresh breeze. We'll be here for about another minute, so just settle in. Let your mind be still. wonderful to just let out any sighs as you exhale. Really helps just sort of let things go when we express that exhale vocally. And when you're ready, let's hug the knees gently in once again. Just to reset here, you can rest your forearms on top of your knees, maybe grab one hand with the other, just gently rest here. And so we're going to roll off of the blanket. So don't forget you have your blocks here. You can bring your feet to the blocks and then scoot your blocks out of the way. And then roll your knees over to one side and carefully press yourself up. Coming all the way up. So we're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. I'm going to move one of my blankets out of the way. I'm going to keep the other so my hips stay elevated. And I'm going to make a tower with my blocks. And I'm going to put one block on the low level so that the long edge is parallel with the top of the mat, the short edge of the mat. And then the other one goes up in the middle, like this, so you have a little tower. And then what I want you to do is slide your forearms onto the edges of the block, and then bring your forehead down. So this is just a supported, wide-legged forward fold. This way, we can't force ourselves to go any further. And we really just get that fascia nice and hydrated by not engaging the muscles and just letting everything relax. Close the eyes. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. You might massage your forehead, just maybe making a little circle right on that spot between your eyebrows, your third eye center. Just kind of massage it, moving the head back and forth, up and down, ever so slightly. So you can feel how that pressure of the block gives you a little massage. And then come to stillness. Maybe just scan your body from head to toe. And just observe, notice what you see with your internal gaze. You enjoy being with yourself. Right here, right now. another minute to go, so just make any little adjustments that might feel good. Maybe you want to bring the arms off the blocks now, just let the shoulders be heavy, keeping the head supported on the block. Controlling the breath, keeping it long and slow. And as you're ready, just gently pressing into the palms to bring yourself back up to seated position. We'll move the blocks over to the side. Take a sip of water. And we're going to roll over. So you can use your hands to bring your legs back together. Try and use as little effort as we can tonight. We're going to come into supported sphinx. So you want your 2 blankets and your bolster. So what I want you to do, bolster or your pillow, what I want you to do is just play with this before we get situated and find what feels absolutely the best for you. So the idea is we have these props right under the chest so that we don't have to use any effort in the shoulders. So for me, it looks like 1 blanket and the cushion is just about right. And your feet should be a little bit wider than hip width apart. And if you have your blocks right here, let's go ahead and put one on the tallest way and rest your head. And close the eyes. So you can adjust the position as you're here if it starts to feel like your ribs are being crunched or it's not comfortable on your stomach. Try to adjust the props so that you can just rest here quite comfortably. Shoulders away from the ears. Elbows under the shoulders or slightly in front of them. And you want your hips to be down on the mat. Sometimes the hardest part of our practice is just staying still, realizing that even though we're not moving, we're making progress. motion doesn't always equal progress. We have about another minute, so again, make any little adjustments that are going to help you feel better, more relaxed. And this would be the time, if you do want to go deeper, to bring your hands out and press up into a supported seal. So if seal isn't normally part of your practice, this is a good way to work up to it. And last breath here, take a big inhale. Exhale. And come back down. Let's sink the hips back. We'll set up for supported child's pose. So here, we're going to take our props. Take your knees wide. And have your props here. So I've got my blanket and my pillow and my block. So when I come down to child's pose, again, I'm supported by the cushion. I don't have much pressure on my knees because my chest and torso are resting on the prop, on the pillow or bolster or blankets. And just settle here for 3 minutes. So with the belly between the thighs, you can really expand on the inhale. And just relax on the exhale. You might bring your thumb and pointer fingers to touch, creating a little diamond shape. And this can take some pressure off the shoulder. So here we're tractioning the back, opening the spaces between the vertebrae. Can you relax just a little bit more? 2 more breaths here. And then slowly make your way to tabletop. You can pad your knees here. We're going to take thread the needle, but again, we're going to do it supported. So take your cushion. And actually, I'm going to pat my knees too. Just because it feels good, why not? So we're going to place the cushion or pillow, whatever you have, so that as we come in to thread the needle, you'll be able to place the side of your head on your pillow. Maybe you even want to place your shoulder on the edge of the pillow. So coming back up to all fours, let's just get our form right. So knees directly under the hips. Take your right arm out to the side. And as you exhale, slide that arm underneath, rolling down, placing the side of your head on your pillow, and maybe your shoulder on the pillow as well. And then place your left forearm on the mat. Or if it doesn't reach the mat, take your block, rest your forearm on your block. So I love thread the needle, but I find that this supported version, I get just as much benefit without that feeling like my neck is being crunched. So this should feel nice and comfortable. Should be able to stay here. We won't stay here for the full 3 minutes, maybe just 2.5 minutes. Hips stay lifted over the knees. Breath stays long and slow. Eyes closed, gazing inward. Let's take 3 more breaths. On your next inhale, press into your left forearm. Slide your right arm back. And we'll just take some cat-cows to reset. So dropping the belly, lifting the chest. And then rounding in, pressing the mat away, tucking the chin toward the chest and the tailbone tucks under. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Exhale, drop the tailbone, tuck it under, pull your belly up and in, press the mat away, drop the crown of the head towards the mat. One more like that. Big inhale. And exhale. Nice job. All right, we'll take the thread the needle on the other side. Position your wrists right under your shoulders. The left arm floats out. And then slide it underneath as you exhale, bringing the side of the head, maybe the shoulder too, onto your pillow or bolster. Right forearm on the mat or on your block. And then settling in here. Let's take 3 more breaths. And then as you exhale, press into the forearm and your right hand, coming back to tabletop. This time, take the knees wide and just sink back into a child's pose. You can rest your head on your pillow. And pressing on up. So we're going to take a little side body stretch here. No, is it getting to be too much? Sure. Oh. No, it's okay. There's plenty of breeze. Oh, okay. If that works. So here the idea is we're going to drape our side body over our cushion and blankets. So you might want to try a few different combinations. Maybe try 2 blankets and a pillow. This is where a bolster is handy. I know Carol has a bolster, and it's a nice firm pillow. I have one here, but it's not very firm. I don't like it for that reason. So you want your ribs, like the bottom of your ribs, right at the edge of the pillow. And then you're just going to lay over the pillow and make a little stand with your hand. So your elbow comes down and your head rests in your hand. Your knees can be stacked one on top of the other. And now you can stay here, or you can pick up your left arm and bring it up over your head so that your left bicep is over your left ear. And then that left hand just dangles there. And if that doesn't feel good, if that's too much, then just bring the hand down. You can maybe slide it behind your back, or just leave it resting along your side body. Lots of choices. Close the eyes. Keeping the breath long and deep and slow. So you should feel comfortably supported here. Shouldn't feel any pain in the ribs. And about another minute here, so make any adjustments. If your ear is getting a little tired, reposition your hand. Last 3 breaths on this side. On your next inhale, you can bring your left hand down to the mat, pressing into that hand, bringing the right hand down, coming all the way back up to seated. Bring your hands behind you to bring the feet out in front of you. And just windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then we'll get ready for the other side. So you can move your props to the other side of the mat. And if you need to make any adjustments here, maybe you want to, if you want to try a little bit deeper stretch, maybe fold one of the blankets so you come up a little higher. I'm going to try that on this side. We'll see if that actually feels comfortable. Knees together, pillow right up against your ribs, and then dropping down, resting the head in the hand, stacking the knees. So make sure you're comfortable in this position before you do anything with the right arm. And then as you're ready, you might bring the right arm up and relaxing the bicep over to the right ear, bending the elbow so that the hand just drapes. So for me on this side, it bothers my shoulder a little bit. So I'm going to adjust and bring my elbow up a little bit. So that my hand is actually between my shoulder blades. Maybe I'll go back and forth between those two shapes. And my shoulder, a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a challenge, but not staying there for too long and coming back to the easy shape. Close the eyes. Measure your eyes like 2 pools of water. Keep the breath moving. It's about another 30 seconds, so make any adjustments. And last breath here. On your next inhale, making your way carefully, slowly, back up to seated. And feet in front, hands behind. And gently walk inside. So we'll take one more posture before our meditation, and we'll do our supported bridge. I'm just going to use my block. If you liked using the blankets like we did earlier, you can try that. It's a little softer, obviously. So situating yourself so you've got whatever props you're going to use handy, whether it's the blankets, have them here so you can slide them right under your hips or your block. Feet are on the mat, knees are bent. And then you're just going to grab behind your thighs and gently roll yourself down. And then really slow, rounding in, bringing the back down one vertebrae at a time. Making our way nice and slowly all the way down. You can interlace your fingers behind your head to gently land the head on the mat. Tucking the chin toward the chest. Heels right in front of the sits bones. Knees hip width apart. And pressing. So arms are on by your side, palms facing down. You can press into the arms and the feet to help lift the hips. And then find your support. So the block should be either on the low or the medium way. I think I'm going to go medium tonight. And your choice. Legs can be out long if you want that hip flexor opening. You can bring your feet wide, drop your knees together like a constructive rest. Or you can keep the feet on the mat, knees bent in your standard bridge pose shape. Either way, make sure the head and neck are comfortable. Make any little adjustments there you need. Maybe rock the shoulders side to side to settle them in. Excuse me. And relax. Let your face and jaw relax. Remember the breath. Mind stays calm. About another minute. So if you want to adjust the height of your block or position of your legs, you can do that now. Whatever shape you're in, bring your feet to the mat. Heels in front of it, sits bones. And then pressing down with the forearms and lifting the hips. Remove your prop. And roll the low back down, tucking the tailbone. Coming down nice and slowly. And then hugging the knees in one at a time. Bringing them out wide so that they're moving towards your armpits. And rock side to side. You might take your happy baby here, lifting the feet towards the ceiling, grabbing the ankles or the shins or the outer edges of the feet, flexing the feet, and rocking side to side. If you're in happy baby, think about moving your tailbone toward the mat. So you're lengthening the low back as you rock side to side. Gently massaging the back. And then coming to stillness. Bring the knees together, bring the feet down, one at a time. And we'll make our way to a comfortable seat for meditation. So slowly pressing up. So you have your cushions if you'd like to try sitting on the cushion tonight. Either sitting on it cross-legged, or you can also place it, sit in hero's pose with the pillow under your tush, sitting up nice and tall. Either way, making sure we have that natural S-curve in the spine. And we're just going to take a brief meditation for 3 minutes. And then you'll go right into your Shavasana. So closing the eyes, resting the hands on the thighs or in the lap. We begin. Turning the corners of the mouth into a little smile. Blinking the eyes open as you make your way onto your backs. Getting your prop set up if you like, some blankets for under your knees. Maybe you want a pillow for your head. If you want an extra blanket to cover up with, I'll be happy to bring you one. Otherwise, just come down onto your backs and relax. Let the eyes be heavy in your sockets. Feel the weight of your bones. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about your despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Start to deepen your breath, bringing movement to fingers and toes, circling the wrists and the ankles. And reach the arms overhead, take a big stretch, big inhale. As you exhale, hug the knees into the chest. And make your way to your favorite side. And as you're ready, come back to a comfortable seat. Keeping the eyes closed, we'll bring hands to heart center. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within guide your way on. Thank you so much for practicing with me this evening. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, and may you live with ease. Thumbs to third eye center. We bow as we say namaste. Namaste. All right. That's a wrap. Thank you, ladies. Always a pleasure.